recording. Okay, cool. Right, please go to your Polite Mall, and I've uploaded a BIM model, architectural BIM model. For the moment, what you need to do is just create a folder on your desktop. For my case, I've just created week 2 or lecture 2, whatever you want to call it by your name or anything. Create a folder and download that Revit model onto the desktop inside that folder. Okay, please do that first, because that is the model which we are going to use to create our structural BIM things. Okay, I guess that should be pretty fast. Anybody not able to find the model? Please just raise your hand. Okay. All right, the next thing, on your desktop, you will find this icon called Revit 2022. Please locate that icon and double click on it to open the software. Revit 2022. I think on your desktop you'll also have 2020 as well, but don't open 2020, just open 2022. Oh, my screen is not sharing. Okay, open Revit 2022. Okay, so far you're sitting too behind. I mean, never mind, I think it's okay. You logged in already, right? Maybe in next class, please sit in the front so that, if you have questions, it's better to just answer from here rather than walk all over the place. Say again, sorry? First light. Okay, thank you, Ms. Khan. Okay, so when you do this, sorry about that. Yeah, so when you open the software, don't do anything, just look at my screen first. So you'll see that it's divided into a few sections. The section on the left is how you will open either an existing model or a new model. New model means if you want to start working on a completely new project, then you will click on new. If you already have certain model, like the model that I have provided to you, you will work on by clicking on this open. That's model. But remember, in the last class, I mentioned that Revit also has capabilities, not just Revit, all BIM softwares have capabilities to work with the actual building objects like doors, columns, walls, and all the other different things. So we can also do that by clicking on this, either opening up a new object or creating a new object, just specific BIM objects. If let's say there are certain objects like facade wall, because the software was created in US, right? The coders, the developers are in all over the world, right? They might not know what is the configuration of the facade wall, HDB facade wall in Singapore. So if let's say you all want to create your own facade wall object library, you can come over here and you can do that. We are not going to do that in this course, but just good for you to know that we can do that. And if you remember, I mentioned that Revit is able to do all sorts of disciplines, whether it's architectural, structural, or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing sorts of things. So we can create all sorts of models in this particular software. One important thing that you should also take note is if you are stuck anywhere while creating your models, Revit also has some available online resources like learning materials and all. So you can just click on online help and it will direct you to the specific page where you need any additional information. So you can watch through the various things. There's quite an extensive bit of material available over here. Okay, so you can do that when, let's say, you are about to become a BIM modeler, BIM manager, or BIM coordinator, all those things. Okay, so that's for your info. Again, before we start doing any project, let me just share with you the interface of this particular software so that it's a little bit easier for you to do when we actually start modeling. So I will just open any project first. You all don't need to open it. I will just open an architectural project. Okay, let's go through a few interface related things. Interface means like how to operate, how to move the mouse, what happens, zoom in, zoom out, and all those things. So like what I said, Revit can do architectural, structural, even rebar, steel related things, precast, and MEP systems. All these different sorts of building objects can be covered, could be found inside this topmost section referred to as a ribbon, right? It's just called ribbon, RIBBON, ribbon. So, or basically just the architectural tab, structural tab, precast tab, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is where you will find all the building objects. We are going to use a lot of these objects in our course for the next 15 weeks. All these things will be covered from the structural tab mainly, the building objects. But we are also going to make use of some other tabs which will allow us to do drafting, detailing, and a few other different modification of elements as we go along. Okay, so all these things will be covered. Another important thing that you need to take note is there are two very important browsers, or let's say, dialog boxes. When we are working with our models, your property dialog box on the, I think when you open, you will be able to see it could be either on the left, could be on the right, could be anywhere on the screen. But these two dialog boxes, properties dialog box and the project browser dialog box, should always be open on your screen when you are working on this, creating your models. The purpose of properties dialog box is, let's say I click on this particular wall over here, right? So if I click on this wall, what are the properties of this wall? Whether it's made up of, what sort of a material is it made up of? Where is it located? Is it level 2, level 1, or, roof, or whatever the location of this is? Any additional details pertaining to this wall can be found inside the properties dialog box. So that's the basic purpose of why we need the properties dialog box to be always available. If we have to make any changes, we can just put in certain values over here and the wall will adjust itself accordingly. So that's the main purpose of the properties dialog box. We are going to use a lot of it in this course. Okay, then the project browser dialog box. So remember in your, if you have worked with AutoCAD before, you would have seen that there are various layers, right? There are quite a bit of layering inside your AutoCAD DWG files. If not, don't worry about it. Basically, the purpose of project browser is for you to navigate between different views. Means if you want to see the floor plan just of level 1, you can go and click on it and it will show you the floor plan of level 1. If you want to see the elevation view from the, maybe let's say north side, you can just click on it and it will show you the elevation view like that. If you want to see a sectional view, you can see that by clicking on each one of these. How to create some of these views, we will also be covering in our, course this time. So all these are very important. If let's say by any chance, your properties dialog box and your project browser dialog box, you accidentally close it, there are ways to open it back. So you can just go to the view tab. Don't worry about it now. We will do this multiple times. Under the view tab, there is this icon called user interface, and you can just click on project browser and you can just click on properties dialog box for it to reappear. Okay. Another thing to note that you can, this is actually dependent upon the preference of the modeler, where you want to place your properties dialog box or where you want to place your project browser dialog box. It's completely dependent upon you as the modeler. what people usually do, they place properties on the left and project browser on the right, but some other people also prefer it to be something like this. Like you can just click on the top and using the left mouse button, I am dragging it and I am going to place it something like this, which means both of it will be on the left side. Just need to drag a little bit. Sorry, very low. Yeah, just need to drag a little bit, but this one to me a little bit troublesome. So I just use, something like this can also be done. Like you can just, yeah, you can just have one on top of the other, something like this. Okay, right. So as I said, I'll just place it like this for the moment, and it will work like that. Okay, so what I will need you all to do, okay, how we are going to do these exercises, right? Every week, I will come and I will share with you what we are going to do for the day. So I would need you all to write down what are the steps, commands that we are going to execute for the day today. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to do is, you can write down, you can type it for you. This is for your reference. Why you need to do that is because let's say during your common test or during your final exam or during your assignment, if I ask you to execute a particular step, you can go back and refer to the video that I'm recording on the MS Teams for you to quickly find how exactly did we do, when did we do it, and how to get it done. Okay, so that's for your reference, for your benefit. So today we are going to do, the first thing is linking the architectural model. The architectural model for, I think you just came in, you need to go to your Polite Mall and download the architectural model, create a new folder on your desktop and save it. So the first thing that we are going to do is linking the architectural BIM model inside. Okay, don't need inside. I will show you later what we are going to do. So that's the first step. Second step is creating levels. Third thing that we are going to do today is copy monitor, something called copy monitor. Okay. Fourth, setting up structural views, VIEWS. Fifth, creating view templates. So this, you can put it under a group, something like, maybe I just type it also, will be good for you. Okay, let me type it. Okay, so that will be linking architectural BIM model, creating levels, monitor, okay, and all of this you can group under something called setting up the BIM project. It will be grids and columns. Under this, we are going to do adding grids to the model. Will be adding steel Creating column schedule. So these are a few things that we are going to cover today. Okay, so we have a lot of work to do. All right, if we have time left, I will cover foundations as well, but I'm not writing it down. Let's not stress ourselves. We will go a little bit slow, but definitely along the way, I think once you are comfortable, you all should be able to pick up pretty fast. Today, we are not going to rush into anything. We are just going to do very, very simple things. Yeah, you have something? Ms. Gunn? Okay, all right. Noted so far? Okay, what I want you all to do now is, I believe everyone is on this page over here. No worries, I'm going to wait for all of us to be on the same page. So anytime, anywhere, anyone is missing, just let me know. Okay, got it? It's okay. Don't worry, don't worry. Anyways, it's recorded, so it will be, later you can refer to the thing as well. Don't worry. Okay, what I want you all to do now, I believe everyone should be here. Please go and click on this sample architectural project. Sample architectural project. I think this is, everyone should have it. Who doesn't have it? Everyone has it, right? Okay, good. Now, first thing that we need to do is open up a 3D view for this particular architectural project that we have opened so far. Everyone here, right? Sure? Okay. Anytime anyone has any confusion, please just raise your hand. Okay, so to open the 3D views, there are two ways. You see a top, on the top side, you will see there's a little house kind of a button. So, this button, if you click on it, it will open up the 3D view. But there is also another way. Inside the view tab, for I think first few weeks, I would like to suggest that maybe you all work through the tabs. Once you are comfortable with the tabs, then you can go automatically. I think you will figure out how to access the shortcut keys. Okay. So go to the view tab, and inside the view tab, you can click on this house over here to open up the 3D view. Okay, got it? All right, I'm going to give you all a few minutes, 3 minutes precisely, to familiarize yourselves with the interface of this software. Just click around anywhere you want. Okay, click around all these things, move these dialog boxes, like for example, if your dialog box comes over here, what you need to do to bring it on the side. Okay, drag it all the way to bring it on a particular side over here. Okay, for you to zoom in, zoom out, you need to use the middle button of the mouse. Okay, rotate up and down, you can find that. Okay, to move your model left and right like this, you just press the middle button of the mouse and hold it to drag it something like this, left, right, up and down. Okay, if let's say your model is very small all the way in the corner and you need to very quickly bring it up, I don't think anybody would be interested in zooming in, zooming out and doing like this, right? It takes a lot of time. So to bring it immediately in the center, from here, immediately in the center like this, you just need to double press the middle button of the mouse. Okay, try that please. Something like this, let's say your model is all the way in the corner and you want to bring it in the center, just double press the middle button of the mouse. Got it? Okay. Then please go ahead and play around with the various views inside your project browser. Click on the elements. If you want to delete something, go ahead and do that. Like delete the roof, see what happens. Play around, please play around with the model. I think that's important. Go ahead, 2-3 minutes for you to play around with the model. Yes, go to your polite mode. Polite mode. Or polite mode. Under announcement, there is a model that I've uploaded. Please download that. And folder. Okay, familiarize yourselves. Otherwise, I think later on people have trouble with moving the model here and there also. Don't worry, we are going to throw away this model later on, so it's only for you to work with. Just click on any element and see what are its properties. See where is it located at. Try and understand what does the offset and all these things mean. Try and see which level is it placed. All these things we are going to cover, but it's good that you can be a little bit more proactive in understanding what the element is about. Okay. There's a car here as well. Good. Okay, are you set? For those who came late, we are waiting for you to download the model. Everyone is ready, do you think? Why, just change the computer if you have any. Okay, I guess okay, let's move on. I think that was just an exercise for you. to familiarize yourself a little bit. We are going to close this model. Don't save, don't do anything. For you to close, you can just do the cross. There will be a cross over here. The number of tabs that you have open, let's say if you have opened up multiple tabs, you can just close each one of those tabs and you will get back to this particular first page, let's say, of Revit. Okay. Now just observe on my screen and then we will do together again. So what I'm going to do now first is I'm going to create a new structural model. So for me to create a structural model, I need to load something called a structural template first. So for me to find where the structural template is, just take a look. I'm going to do it again together. I'm going to browse it, and inside, when I browse, I will find something called structural analysis default US and Canada. Okay, this is the template that we are going to use for doing our models, linking our architectural model later on. For the moment, just take a look. You don't follow, otherwise you'll get confused. Once it's loaded, another thing that you should take note is in Revit there are three different types of file formats. When you save your project later on, you observe that the file format will be in .rvt. Like Excel has a file format, right? .xlx. So Revit BIM software should also have a file format. It's .rvt. When we are creating an object, so RVT is specific to a project. Whole bunch of models, objects combined together to create one project is .rvt. When we are working with just one object, let's say if we are creating an object for a facade wall, for example, the file format for that will be .rfa. Okay, later on you'll get to know. And for now, what we are doing is we are uploading a template. Template is something like, if I have to create a structural elements, I need to work on structural template. The basis, right, should be a structural template. So the file format for me to load the template is .rte. Okay, so I'm just selecting one of the templates in metric, which is this one. Just going to select this metric template. Okay, this will also be metric. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Open. Right. So this gives us a very fresh interface for us to start doing our BIM models. Okay. So the first step for you to do is, now follow me. Under this section, go to new. Okay. So if we are creating structural model, we can choose a structural template directly from here, but don't choose that. I'm going to suggest that you click on browse. This button, browse over here. Everybody on this page, this particular thing, open up for everyone. Okay, if it has not opened, all you need to take note that it will be under your C drive, program data, Autodesk, Revit, templates, and English, all the way hidden somewhere inside your C drive. Okay. So I hope everyone is on the same dialog box over here. Then I need you to go and just select structural analysis default. Maybe just select default metric. Okay, select default metric. One click, default metric, and click open. Then next, create new project. Click on project over here, make sure that project is checked, then click on OK. All right. Everyone here so far? All okay? Okay, please, guys. Yes, thank you. Just say okay, okay. If not, then I will not know also. Okay. From the back, I think you guys will be left behind if you don't say okay. You also at the back, very far. Okay, next thing. So I asked you all to download the architectural. I hope everyone downloaded it and copied on your desktop. The next thing that we are going to do is we are going to link. Okay, why we are doing this? I think it's important to share the concept as well. So because this course is about structural BIM modeling, right? Which means that you guys are acting as structural modelers, let's say, structural BIM modelers. So usually in a project, who's the party, who's the lead consultant that should come out with the initial set of concept of the building? Who's that? Architect, right? So let's assume that the architect has already provided you the sort of information that will be required for you to do your structural analysis and design, right? So that's why I provided you the architectural BIM model, which was uploaded onto your Polite Mall. So that portion of the work has already been done for you. Okay, so now you guys are structural people and you are going to bring in the architectural consultant's model inside this particular project to start creating your structural elements. Okay, so that's why I gave you that model earlier. Okay, so let's link our architectural model. So to link that architectural model, you need to go to Insert. Okay, and click on, so insert, right? We can do a lot of different file formats import inside over here. Like we can link our AutoCAD as well, the 2D AutoCAD. We can link various point clouds, different PDF as well. So sometimes drawings are provided to you, to the structural people as PDFs as well, right? So you can link PDF and all. But because our project already has Revit architectural model, we are going to link the Revit architectural file. So under Insert, click on Link Revit. Okay. Then please go and find the model that you have saved on your desktop. For my case, it's on the desktop under a specific folder called week 2. For my case, for yours could be different. And just one click, don't double click. One click on the model. Okay, got it so far? Right. Then all the way at the bottom, you will find this drop down called positioning. This drop down called positioning. On that, you need to select internal origin to internal origin. I think that will be by default selected for you all, but if it's not, select internal origin to internal origin and click on open. Okay, so once you click on open, you will see that the architectural model has already linked inside your Revit. Now I'm going to do a few steps. I don't want you all to do. Just take a look. Let me explain the architectural model first. Okay, just take a look at my screen. I'm not going to save. I will come back to it later on. Okay, so I'm going to open my architectural file. So this is how your architectural model looks like. Okay, so this is how your very simple, very basic model, nothing complicated. Inside your architectural model, you have, certain walls, lots of windows, doors, foundation, all these different walls. These are floor and all those things are available. But architectural consultants usually don't go into detail of modeling the foundation, of modeling other sorts of structural related elements. So that's why this model doesn't consist of any structural item. Okay. So inside this architectural model, using our structural interface that we created just now, we are going to add on additional structural elements like the foundation, like the staircase, like the columns and other things like that. Okay, so that's why. So this model, this is the architectural model that I have provided to you. It's very simple, very basic, nothing complicated. All right, I'm going to come back to the same page that we are at, default metric, and open the Revit. Okay, so once you have linked Revit, I think it's important that we take a look at how it looks like as of this moment in 3D. Everything is very messed up, right? We are not getting a lot of information. So when you click on this under view tab, when you click on this 3D over here, it will open up the 3D view for you. Okay. Right. If let's say you want to see both your 2D view and your 3D view side by side, what you can do is under the view tab all the way to the right hand side, there is something called tile views. You can click on that and it will show you the two views side by side. Okay, now in your level 2, for the moment, just focus on your level 2 first. Okay, so when you click on your level 2, you will see that the properties dialog box will have all these different sorts of information, right? I need you all to find under your level 2 properties dialog box, I need you to find something called discipline. It will usually be under the graphics section. Okay, for the moment it will be as structural. Found discipline? Got it? Where are you? Okay, never mind. Yeah, found? Under your property. Okay, I have closed my 3D view. Let's just focus on level 1 first. I believe everyone should be able to open level 1. Huh? Okay, go to view, then you go to user interface all the way, then click on yeah. Just drag on the top here, drag it. Then I release and then try it. Okay, everyone open level 1. Okay, go to the view, then all the way on the right hand side, user interface, probably okay, so looks like so drag it, drag it. Got it? Level 1, guys, open level 1 and close the rest of the things. Open level 1. Level 1. Level 1. double click, open level 1. Everyone can close level 2 and 3D view. Okay, good. I think everyone is able to catch up. All right. Next thing that we are going to do is inside our level 1, we are going to change the discipline of this, because as of this moment we can't see, there's a lot of additional information over here which we don't know what it is about. This is how the architectural people have forwarded the information to you. So we are going to make sense of all this information. So under level 1, discipline, go and change this from structural to coordination view and click on apply. Under properties dialog box for level 1, you will find discipline. Then under discipline, you need to click on this drop down and change it to coordination. Got it? Click on apply. Okay, good. Okay, now as you can see, when you try and when we were practicing just now, right, you are able to click on individual BIM objects, right? You are able to click on window and wall and all that. Try to see if you are able to select any object over here in your model or not. See if you can do that. Can anyone tell me why? Huh? Think a little bit more. Second? No in what? Sorry, I didn't get you. Okay, never mind. Why you are not able to select? Yes, because this model is coming to me. I am a structural guy, and this model is coming to me from the architectural. Architectural people have modeled whatever they are supposed to model in. It's their IP, it's their property now, right? Their property, how can I modify? I cannot modify. I can use it only as a reference, and then I, as a structural person, I'll have to build on top of it. Okay, so software creators are also smart enough. They also understand that these kind of things, because liability issue will happen later on. If I modify anything in the structural, in the architectural model, who will be responsible for all that modification? Okay, so that's why they are smart enough to understand that we can't do any modifications over here. Okay, so what I want you all to do is click on the entire link. It should be selected as like this blue color over here. Okay, and I want you all to click on this pin button. It's very small, can't see. It will be under your modify links over here. A very small pin. Click on it. Found everyone at the back? Okay. Next. Yeah, pinned already, right? I hope. Okay, this pin is basically so that you don't accidentally change anything inside the this link. So because we are going to model on top of it, right, it's important to always have it at a proper location. Okay, right. Next, this one you don't do. I'm just showing you the concept so that later it's okay for you. It's library. Okay, this one you don't need to do now. So if let's say inside this architectural model, we haven't modeled anything yet. Okay, I mean, as structural people, we haven't modeled anything yet. But I still would like to name my rooms, right? I will still like to call this one as whatever room A, room B, corridor, this and that. I still want to do that, right? Because naming a room is, of course, we are going to take the reference to the architectural model, but it still will have to be according to the naming conventions that I, as a structural engineer, follow inside my own organization. Okay, so as of this moment, you can see that I'm not able to place the room names properly, right? So what I need you all to do is, don't click on that. That was just for your info. Click on this whole link. It should highlight as blue. Then I want you to go to your properties dialog box and click on edit type over here. Once it's highlighted as blue, go to your properties dialog box and click on edit type. Once you click on edit type, another dialog box will open and you will see there's this portion called room bounding and check mark on it. Okay, got it so far? Select it, whole thing will become blue. Go to properties browser, click on edit type. It will come here and click on room bounding check mark. Click on apply and say okay. Now, if I go back to that command that I was running earlier, you will see that I am now able to place the room as per the whole thing. Okay, this one you don't need to do. I just did it for showing only. I'm going to delete it. Worries. Okay, got it. So that's why we need to do that room bounding thing. Anybody stuck? I hope not. All right then. That's about it for our, what was our first command? Linking architectural. Then I guess what else we need to do? Let me see. Okay, now that we have linked up our model, I want you all to just go ahead and save it first. Okay. So, anybody working in structural firm? No? Main contractor? The last week you were contractor, today fired already. Who's contractor? Yes. Can you tell me what's a typical file naming convention when you receive PDF or DWG or whatever from structural consultant? How do you name your file? How do they name their files and pass it to you? Consultant, structural, structural consultant. How do you name them? How do they name them and pass to you? CS dash something. Okay. So what I want you all to do is, let's standardize for this class. Once you are over here, file, save as, go to file, click on file, click on save as, click on project. Okay, it will be something like this. Then I want you all to call it CS what? Dash 0.1. 01. Then today's day. Is it? I don't know. You are the contractor, right? Then? Okay, never mind. So do this CS01 underscore, just put project. What is this? Project structural BIM modeling, right? SBM. And you can put your name because it's important. Just put your initial, something like this. Okay. And I will put additional one. week 01. The reason being because we are going to use whatever we are creating today, we are going to use the same model for the next 15 weeks so that you can see how a BIM model can evolve from little bit of information to a lot of information. Okay, so the same model will be used. So for your case, you all can put the naming convention, something like this, just standardize. Over here, every one of us will have the same type of a naming convention, except for this over here. This one you will put your own initials, name initials. For example, your name is what, right? Just it. What's wrong? Yeah. Okay, so the alphabet is CS01 underscore. Maybe don't need so much. Thing too complicated. CS01 underscore the initials of your name underscore week 01. Okay. Good. And click on not save first. Click on, okay. So just for your info, this option's right. So sometimes what happens is when we create very big BIM models and the laptop or the desktop is not supportive enough, it might cause the model, the software to crash a little bit, right? Crash meaning like in the middle of the way, while working on it, the software will stop working. So software, this Revit automatically saves certain backup of your model after every few instance, after every few minutes or so. Okay, so the number of backups is how many backups of the file that you want to save at your end. Usually people keep it as default like 3, but if you want, you can change it to 1 or 10 or something. My suggestion is just let it be at 3. That was just for your info, so that you know what each and every function is about. Okay, so once you have named your file, click on save and it will save inside wherever you wanted it to be saved. So next week when we come, we will open and work on this particular model over here. Okay, so that's for this. Then the next is, let's see, what did we put up? Next is for us to create the levels, right? So we are going according to this. Our first step is linking up the architectural model. Next is inside our structural model, we are going to start working on levels now. Okay, so to work on level, what I would be doing is going to go to my south elevation. So under your project browser, you will see that there is this command called, there is this view, not command, there is this view called elevation. If it's not expanded, you can click on the plus sign to expand it and click on south. Okay. All right, so south elevation, I think you can click on any elevation, but I think it's easier to work on the south elevation first. Right, so as what I think our friend explained earlier, our architectural model already had all those levels. Next step for us is to create levels, right? But our structural model doesn't have levels. So we need to create the levels for our structural model. Now, architect consultant, what they did was they modeled the level on top of the slab over here. They modeled the level for considering the finished floor area. But as structural guys, you need to also know the depth of the slab also, right? And then once you get the, below the depth of the slab, you need to find what is the clear floor to floor height. That's what you need to find, the clear floor to floor height. Okay, so that's why that information is not available inside the architectural, this architect's BIM model. So that's why you need to create the levels for the structural BIM model. And by default, you will see that level 1 and level 2 will be created automatically for you. Okay, so when you zoom in, you will be able to see that level 1 and level 2 are created. It's not properly aligned. We are going to align that first. Okay, so just to take a look at my screen first, what I'm going to do is, because over here, right, to work over here on the levels, it's very complicated. So I want to move the level, in a very clear space over here. So to do that, I'll just click on this level over here. And when I click on it, there is this small circle. Are you able to see the small circle? I don't know. Is it visible from the back? Very small, right? Okay, so when I click on this, there's this small circle over here. Okay, it's very, very small, this, right? So what I will be doing is, for me to move this whole big bubbles, I'll just select that small circle, and I'm just going to hang. Okay, I'm just going to move out of my range to make sure that it's outside. Did you guys see how I did that? I'll bring it back. Hang again. Why is it hanging? Okay. So let's do it together. Click on this level. When you click on the level, right, you will see that both level 1 and level 2 are connected together. So in order for you to move, press the left mouse button, hold it. You can zoom out a little bit and then move slightly on the outside. Okay, so far? Please, for the rest, those who are not able to do that. Help your friends, help your friends. I'll reinforce your concept also. Okay, got it, I hope. All right, next. So, like what I mentioned earlier, the software has already created the first 2 levels, but that's not enough. And also, the level 2 that is created, right, is also not aligned properly. So remember what I mentioned just now, that as structural consultants, what you need to do is you need to measure the clear floor to floor just below the slab. Okay, you need to measure that height. So we need to bring this level down, this level 2 that is created, right? This level 2 that is created, we need to bring it down over here so that we can measure the top of this slab to the bottom of this slab. That will give us the floor to floor height. Okay, you understand what I'm doing, right? Okay, now to do that, there are a few ways. Just take a look first, later you all do. I can just select on it and I will move like this, but this is not going to be accurate. This requires a little bit of a, experience or whatever, so that you can bring it very, very accurately. Okay, so that's not the right way to do. So I'm going to bring it back to that position. The best way to do that is if you go to Modify tab and later we will do again. Just observe first. So I mean, usually my style is I do every command 2 times. One time I show you so that everyone is able to take a look, and then the second time I do again along with you all, so that anybody who is stuck will be able to get it together with me. Okay, so let me just show you what is the best way to bring this level down to this bottom portion here, right? So when I go to my modify tab, there's this command called align. Okay, align basically means that where do I want to move this particular item to? So I want to move this item at the bottom here, right? So the first thing that I'm going to select is this bottom portion of the slab. And then what do I want to move? So at the bottom, you can see, please select an entity to align, right? At the bottom, there is a command there. Please select an entity to align. So I am going to align this particular entity, which is my level, to the bottom of this slab. I'm just going to select that. Okay, so as you can see, this particular level is now perfectly aligned to the bottom of this slab. Okay, got it? Got the concept, right? Okay, now let's do it together. Go to Modify tab. Okay, under Modify tab, there is this command called Align. It will be somewhere in the middle under Modify section. We are going to make use of most of these items, so slowly, but today just learn about Align. Click on Align. Okay, next, if you see at the bottom left of your screen under the inside the gray tab, just read out. Can anybody read out what's written there? Yes, correct. So please select the first point where you want to bring a particular item or entity to. So select that. It will, when you hover your mouse, it will be a little bit blue. So click on it. Just one click, not 5 clicks. I heard 5 clicks just now. Okay. And then the command at the bottom left of your screen will change again. So the command this time will be, please select an entity to align. So I'm going to align my level entity. So click on the level and you can see that the levels are perfectly aligned right now. Okay, so to get out of the command, click on modify. Click on modify, you will get out of the command. Or you can press escape 3 times, get out of the command as well. Just press escape 1, 2, 3, and you will get escape out of the command. Any command that you are in, press escape 2 or 3 times, you'll come out of that command. To go back, you'll have to select the command again.
I mean, to undo the thing that we have done wrongly.
Undo, redo the button here. Yeah, and then Control Z as well. Yeah. Okay, now let's create the levels. Okay, same. Let me create the level first, then you all create again together. So we are going to create structural level, right? So I'm going to select on the structural tab, and all the way on the right hand side, there is this command called level. Okay, select on it. And there are various ways for me to create the level. I can just use this directly to draw a line one by one, but that's going to be too much work. So because softwares nowadays are very smart, we can make use of some of these commands to do our work a little bit faster. So I'm going to select pick lines. Okay, let's do it together. Go to your structural tab. And click on level. Okay. Then sorry. Sorry, Justin. I think. And what was the question? No, this is about alignment, right? Correct. Okay, so alignment you can do for multiple different items. The first thing that I want you to align, right, is alignment. So the first, for doing the alignment, you first select the place where you are going to bring the entity. So this is the place that you're, yeah. So go back one step. When you talk about entity, because entity itself is very important. And it gets brought. Anything is referred to as an entity. A line, a door, window, column, slab, everything is an entity. Very short. That's why. So, and this entity is narrowed down to no, nothing will be narrowed down because this entity you are going to do the alignment later on for many other different things. So it's not going to be alignment for door, alignment for window, alignment for column. It's going to be so many commands over there. So that's why they have so that's why they have named the alignment. When you do the alignment, they have called it aligning the entity. Entity covers broadly everything. Because I'm just sometimes I'm jumping maybe that thing because when it comes to the document, so really we have certain specifications for suppliers that are using their product. Let's say for example, like say master wall. Okay, so based on their specification and because it's from their company, they have to create documents somewhere in there. So this how did I sorry, when I click on this, because I will, if I know, okay, for example, ABC, company ABC registered, then this the entity, because these things, okay, they registered. Okay, I think, no. Let's come back down. Don't go about specifications and don't go into the company and all that. Come back to the software. Inside the software, every item that you are seeing, right, inside the software is an entity. So a grid is an entity, a level is an entity, all the big objects are an entity. Okay, so come back down to, don't go away from the software first. Okay? All right, let's create the levels. Who's going to miss out? Quickly. So to create the level, where were we? Under the structural tab, you need to click on level over here. When you click on level, it will automatically bring you towards modify place level tab. Okay. Then I want you all to click on pick lines. Clicked already? Okay. Then your level 1 and level 2 already created, right? Now you need to create from level 3 onwards. So you are going to create your level 3 over here. Okay. So click on this particular line, which is the bottom of the slab at level 3. So click on this line, your level 3 is created. Very simple. Click on the line over here for level 4. Level 4 is created also. then level 5, then the bottom of this roof as well. Okay. Once you are done creating all the levels, you can click on modify to exit the command, or you can click on press the escape a few times to exit the command also. Okay, now as usual, as you can see, working over here is going to be very complicated. So I'm going to select level 5. I'm going to click on this small circle over here, drag, hold, and move it all the way to the right hand side. Similarly for this one, drag, hold, and move all the way to the right hand side. All right, another thing important for you to take note, when we click on level, you will see that there are bubbles, all this over here. You can turn on or off these bubbles. If you click on the level right, there will be a checkbox over here. So you can turn on or turn off. Okay, right. Now, I'll be walking around. Anybody stuck? I'm going to quickly help you. You have two levels in control set. Okay, never mind. Everyone okay? Okay, let's move on. We are still doing our second command, quite a few. You all want to stay till 12 midnight today? Okay, let's change the name of these levels now. So to change the name, it's very simple. I will do for one, then you all can continue doing the rest also yourself. So this one I'm going to call STR, structural, because I want to differentiate, right? The architect consultant just called level 1, right? But I want to call structural level 1. So I'm just going to put STR over here, call it level 1, and press enter. When I press enter one time, the software is going to ask me, would you like to rename corresponding views? So on your left hand side, not your left hand side, inside your project browser, you will see that previously there was only level 1 and level 2. But now that you have created up until level 6, your project browser also has level 1 to 6 also, right? Now, when I change structural level 1 as the name of my level 1 and I click on yes, just take a look what will happen on the project browser for the name of level 1. It will also change as structural level 1. Okay. Similarly, double click on level 2 and I will change it to structural level 2, and you will see when I click on yes, it will also change to structural level 2. Go ahead and do that for the other things. Structural level 3, click on yes, don't click on no. Structural level 4, yes. Structural level 5, and structural level. This one I will not call structural level 6. The top one I'm going to call roof. Click on yes. Okay, done. There is one level which we have not created yet. Okay. Everyone here? Can you guys practice something? Now that you all know how to create levels, can you all try and practice how to create level for the top of footing? Okay, we created up so far. We haven't created at the bottom. This exercise is a little bit difficult because on the top you already have certain objects, but on the bottom, architect never provided you anything, right? So you need to, copy, right? Need to find a height. Yeah, height is given. Height is what? The depth, basically. The depth is given over here. When I was learning Revit for the first, nobody taught me. First 3 months, I think, I just played around like this. Played around how to go up, go down, what element to put. Yeah. So 3 months. Almost. But full detail. The one that we are going for this course is very surface level. Extremely surface level. Done? Tell me, what did you do? Huh? Copy? Okay, good. I'm going to do a little bit different way. I'm going to come to structure, click on level, and I'm going to put an offset over here. The reason why I wanted you all to do that is because every command you click, right, will have this pale green, I don't know what color this is, this green color bar will appear. So you can make use of everything that you have inside the ribbon, as well as this green color bar to put in, specific commands. So because the height is given to me is 3048 mm, so I'm going to just enter minus 3048, and I'm going to select from here to here, and it's going to give me this level. This one I'm going to change again back to what the architect is calling it. They are calling it TO footing, means top of footing. Usually that's the technical term. I'm going to call it top of footing as well. Enter, rename all the views, yes, and it's like that. Okay, you can use copy, you can use this way also, you can use draw the line also. So there are a few ways to do any command in BIM. Okay. All right. Any questions? All right. Do remember, from time to time, please keep on saving your file so that you don't lose your work. So to save your file, just click on Control S or click on that button. I mean the save button on the top. Yes. One more time on the level, is it? Okay, so I just create a random level first. I will not delete this. So to create the level, what you need to do is click on level, and this height is 3048. So what I'm going to do is just randomly, I'm going to select any height. Let's say I select a 6000 minus 6000 because I'm going to create the level below. So minus 6000. Okay, press tab, and let's say I want to create 6000 from level 1 below, 6000 below, 6000 below level 1. So I'm going to select this, and yeah, when I click something like this, as you can see, if you drag, the level will get created. Okay, got it? I'm going to escape out of the command. Okay, make sure that your levels are aligned in this manner also. Okay, please go ahead and align your levels. Always a good practice to do that. Okay. Okay, now our levels are all proper. Okay. Okay, guys, can we move on? How to what? Sorry. Oh, so sometimes what might happen is for your level, right? If the check is not there, then the bubble will not appear. So just click on check here, and then you can move it. Okay. We haven't created any structural element yet. We are still working with just the level. Okay, can we move on? Tomorrow you all got work, is it? Me too. What's the issue there? Okay, settle. Let's move on. Okay, so far we have done linking. We have created the levels. Next, let's do this item called copy monitor. So basically the purpose of this copy monitor command is we have the architectural model, which is this, which we have linked earlier. And just now we have created the various levels, right? Now what I want to do is anything, any structural element that I create inside this structural BIM model, I want to monitor it against the architectural BIM model. For example, if let's say that's a column, that's architectural column. Inside that, there are structural elements like the rebar and all those things, right? If I create the rebar inside my structural BIM model, I don't want the rebar to be somewhere and the architectural column to be somewhere, right? I want both of them to be together, right? So that's why anything that I create on my structural BIM model, I want it to be monitored against the architectural. So to do that, what I need to do is I need to go to my collaborate tab. Let's do this together. Collaborate tab and click on copy monitor and select link. Got it so far? Collaborate tab, copy monitor. I think some people at the back. Got it right, you guys? Okay. Select link, and we are going to select the architectural model that is linked inside this. So to do that, just hover your mouse somewhere on the edge, and you will see that a blue color box will light up. This blue color box is the linked architectural file. So click on that, and then click on. Everybody was able to do that just now, right? You are able to select the box, right? People at the back. Okay. Now click on monitor. Okay. So one by one, you are going to monitor items created on the structural in correspondence to the items inside the architectural. So to do that, let me just do one first. So I'll select monitor and structural. Okay, so I'm going to monitor my structural level 1 against the architectural level 1. So when I do that, once I click on both the elements, right, structural level 1 and architectural level 1, you will see that there's a heartbeat kind of a sign, very small one, somewhere in the middle. Okay, so please try doing this for all the levels. For example, top of footing. So first click on the structural top of footing and then the architectural top of footing. Once you do that, you will see that the heartbeat sign is over here, right? This is just a way to denote that the things are being monitored, right? Then structural level 2 and architectural level 2. Again, heartbeat is here. Structural level 3 with architectural level 3, level 4 with level 4, level 5 with level 5, and roof with, don't monitor roof with parapet, monitor roof with architectural, this roof over here. Okay, so this is one roof and I'm going to monitor it with this. Okay, once you have done that, you need to click on finish, this button over here. Got it? Okay. I haven't clicked on finish, but if you have monitored each of the levels, then just click on finish. Yeah, just looking. Right. I probably missed quite a few steps. Right. Yeah. I think the level is okay. I think may I suggest next class let's all occupy the first space. Yes, I think it's difficult. Yeah. I think look at it. He's very fast with it. Oh, you have some background, is it? You have some big background. You have some big background. Oh, because it's one so why do you have so many? Then I cover my mouth. Bring it up, bring it down. Bring it up. That's how you do it. I think that's fine. Then the next thing that we need to do is okay. Okay. So your cost estimator is it? Your cost estimator is it?
Yes.
Aki. Good. Do consultants give you all the BIM model or not? Or your contractor create for you? PDF, right?
Yeah. Sometimes
AutoCAD, right?
Yeah.
PDF very difficult, right? I think Cubicos got this OCR, right? Optical character recognition thing, right? Accurate or not? I don't think accurate.
Oh.
Huh? You also estimator, is it?
I'm not the estimator. I mean, OCR is not accurate.
Yeah, it's not accurate. Okay, good. Finish. All right, so I think we are all here. See, slowly, right? I think we all will move faster and faster. I think because this is the first class, so we are going a little bit slow, so no need to worry about that. So we have finished copy monitor. Let's take a break after number 4. Okay, short break. So next what we are going to do is, let me see what we have. We are setting up our different views, right? Okay, so let's do it. What I am going to do now is I am going to go to my level 1, structural level 1. From your project browser, everyone, please go to structural level 1. And remember earlier I showed to you that some of our levels, right? Like for example, this one you don't click, just let me explain first. Our discipline for level 1 and level 2 is different, so you can see the different way in which information is shown. So remember earlier, for structural level 1, inside my project properties browser, I changed the discipline to coordination. So you can see a little bit more information is shown over here. Whereas for my level 2, if I click on my level 2, the discipline is still selected as structural. So as you can see, it's only line diagram, right? So we want to make sure that all our levels look alike. All the information that I'm seeing on my same level 1, I should see on my level 2 as well. Okay, so we are going to create templates which will then be used for the rest of the levels as well. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit step-by-step procedure, so let's all of us do together. So everyone go to your structural level 1. And yeah, there are a few items that we need to delete as well. So what I need you all to do is go to this properties dialog box and find this command called visibility graphics overrides. Found? Okay, then click on edit button over there. So as you can see, this green line over here, right, literally doesn't mean anything for me as of this moment, right? So I'm going to eliminate and make my model look a little bit cleaner. So when I click on this visibility graphics override, I can go to annotation categories, and under annotation, I need to find something called reference plane. Where is reference? MNOPQR. So all of this is actually in alphabetical order. So when I need to look for reference plane, I can uncheck that. Just uncheck. Everybody go to here first. Visibility graphics. Anybody stuck, please raise your hand. Not able to find, raise your hand. Okay. I think Justin is there. Okay, reference plane unchecked, click on apply, click on OK, and you can see the model will be cleared a little bit. By the way, when you did that exercise, don't need to open again. You can see on this visibility graphics overrides over here, it's only solving the problem at level 1, at your structural level 1. So when I click on my level 2, it will still be like that. My level 3 will still be like that. So because nowadays the technology is so advanced, we all are living in a smart world. I don't want to go and do the manual job of going to every level and clicking one by one, So that's why we are going to create a template, and that template is going to be copied to the rest of the levels. How to do that? We'll do that in a moment. But from my 3D view, this one also looks so difficult, right? Like, what exactly are these levels inside my linked files and so on and so forth. So let's eliminate some of the problems from our 3D view also. So click on your 3D view. You can go to your 3D view by clicking on view tab over here and this house, or you can click on this house over here on the top to go to 3D views. Okay, once you are in your 3D view, you need to go to the visibility graphics overrides, which is found inside the properties dialog box, and click on edit. Okay, so far? Click on edit. Yep. Okay, so this is a bit lengthy. Let's follow the steps. I believe everyone is over here. Go to Revit links. Okay, when you open the thing, right, you will be, by default, you will be under model categories. So I want you to move your mouse and find Revit links, which is all the way on the right hand side of the tab. Find Revit links. Then go to buy host view button over here. As you can see, everything is blanked out. So we are going to make some change. I mean, when I said earlier, you can't change anything inside your model, that's true, still true. but you can hide and unhide certain type of objects, okay, from your linked file. So you can do that. So I'm going to create a custom rule to hide the levels that I'm seeing over here. I don't want to see the architectural levels inside my structural model. So that's what I'm doing right now. So click on custom. Got it so far? Justin not doing it. Why? Yeah, custom. Then go to annotation categories. Got it? This is lengthy, so you need to follow. And under on annotation category, because in the previous tab, I selected custom, right? So you need to select the drop down under annotation categories to custom. And this will make your things visible. Up until that point, everything was hidden. Okay. So now you need to go and find your levels over here. And as you can see, it's checked. So you just uncheck that. Levels, scroll a little bit and find levels. Okay, and click apply and click OK. Over here also click apply and click OK. Got it? As you can see, the architectural levels are gone. Everyone managed to get this? Who didn't? Yeah, Ms. Dam, thank you. For those who managed to get it, can you help to change the discipline of the 3D view from structural to coordination? I will not do it. I've done it before. Remember, I did the change of discipline for my level 1 from structural to coordination. Can you go and find where to find discipline for 3D view? Change the discipline to coordination. Can you go and find and do? And once you do, what is the change you find? The change you see? Let me know. See everything, right? Okay. I believe everyone should be able to find it. So anyways, inside the 3D view, the discipline is from structural, I'm changing it to coordination. And when I click on apply, I can see a lot of things, right? As you can see, but this is still the architectural model. I still can't do anything with it. Okay. Right. Now, a couple of other information for you. We still haven't created the view template, by the way. We are still doing the settings. This is important. When you all become BIM managers and all, you all will need to know, how to do all this for your subcontractors and all those people, so that everyone is on a standardized workflow. Okay, just a little bit more. So yeah, for the moment, as you can see, there's a lot of information, but all this information actually is, let's see the difference from here. So when I select on fine, I can see a little bit more information compared to if I selected on medium and coarse. Maybe just change the detail level to fine. Click on this button over here. When you hover your mouse, it will say detail level. I know the buttons are very small. Okay, so you need to focus a little bit. Find the detail level and change it to fine. And for the box net next to detail level, you will see visual style. It's shown as wireframe. Change that to shaded. When you change it to shaded, you will see that the model will appear. Okay, please do that. Just play around with, for those who have done it, why don't you play around with all the different types over here. See what are the changes. Wireframe, hidden, shaded, consistent, and realistic. What are the different changes you observe? Please go ahead and do that. Just select all the different options and then finally come back to shaded. Okay, done. Okay. All okay? Right. So, yeah, I think we are done with 3D. Now, like what I said earlier, for our rest of our levels, right? Level 2, level 3, and level 4, all these are like this, like no information. So we don't want to do the same steps for each and every level. That takes a lot of time. So what we are going to do is we are going to set our templates. I think let him finish first. Otherwise, need to talk loudly. Okay, done. All right. So because we have set almost all the things for our level 1, same thing what you did under your, what is this called, detail level, right? Change the detail level in your structural level 1 to fine. When you click on it, you will see that a little bit more detail is available. Okay, go to your structural level 1 and find this button and change it to fine. Okay, done that? All right, now, because I am satisfied with the way information is shown to me for my level 1, I'm going to use the base of this information and create something called view template. Let me call this view template as coordination, because remember my discipline is all set to coordination. Okay, so I'm going to call this coordination, coordination view, for my floor plans. I'm just naming this template. What I'm trying to do, just to let you know the concept again, I don't want to go to individual levels, and I don't want to select the steps for, changing the discipline, changing the fine, changing all this takes a lot of effort and time. Imagine your building is 50 stories, so you want to do that for 50 story for architectural, 50 story for structural, 50 for MEP, quite a bit, right? So you just create a template, and this template can then be used for all the floors. Okay, I do it again. For structural floor plan, I right click on my structural floor plan under the project browser, right click. Okay, when I right click, there is this command called create view template from view. Okay, everybody got this? Yep. At the back, no what? Okay, guys, please follow 2-3 minutes. I think we are done for this one. So what I did, structural level 1, right click, create view template. Yeah, if this one comes, right, maybe you can just say save the project. That's fine. Yeah. So I'm going to name it as coordination view for my floor plan. Okay, name it, new template, click OK. Okay, once you have done that, all of these things are the settings. Actually, these things are basically the settings that you have inside your properties browser over here, which are now available for you to copy for the rest of the levels, just the templates. Okay, so these are basically all that information. If you have time, you can go and read about it later on, but for the moment, just click OK. Now just just see the difference. My level 2 is like this, right? I just do for one floor first. When I right click on my structural level 2 and say apply, right click and say apply template properties and select my coordination view floor plan, click on apply properties and click OK. You can see that it will be cleaned up. Because I don't have any information on my level 2, it's looking like this. Got it? Same thing I can do for my level 3, control, level 4, level 5, and top of footing as well. Right click on all of these, apply view template, coordination view, apply properties, click OK. Got it? Was it too fast? Huh? Okay. Structural level 1, you are able to get, right? Structural level 1, create view template from you. Are you able to create the view template? Then, okay, I come to you. Then for level 2, got it? Level 2, all you need to do is apply template properties and select the coordination view floor plan. This is the template that you all created just now. Click on apply properties and click OK. So that is for level 2, what I did just now. So you don't need to go to level 3, right click again, level 4, level 5 again. You can select all of them together. Level 3, press Control, level 4, press Control, level 5, and top of footing. Right click, apply view template, select coordination view, apply properties, and click on OK. Then when you go to your level 3, you will see some of the items will be there already. Okay. All right, so that's the basic purpose of this creating view templates. I think we are almost done for this. Yeah. Another thing that I want you all to do is just one more thing. After that, you can have your break. For those who have questions, can stay back. Select all your levels. Structural level 1, control level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and top of footing. Control from your project browser. Okay, once you have selected all of them, inside your properties dialog box, you will see view template is still checked as none, although you have applied. So we got to correct that. Okay. View template will be found all the way in the properties browser, somewhere towards the bottom. Found? Okay. Click on none and select your coordination view floor plan. Yeah. Now, I mean, you can skip the previous step that I said and use this. Okay. But I showed you both ways. So in future, maybe you can directly use this. Okay. Coordination view floor plan and click on apply. Click on OK. Will not show you any difference, but basically, because it was selected as none, I need to correct that. Okay, guys, let's take a break. Now is what? 8:49. Let's do 10 minutes, okay? Okay, 9 p.m., please. I don't know whether we are able to finish how much today, but never mind, don't worry. We are not going to rush. Okay, who has questions? Yes. create a top of footing level again and do the copy monitor for it again, and then apply the feedback breaks also. Yeah, coming. Yes, that's it. Where are you? After level 1, I think that get up. So then on. Yeah, I mean, these are some steps. It might be your example. Might be your example. Okay, you can create this type naming coordination view. Type coordination view. Now your template is created. This is all the properties associated with that template. And then very quickly what you can do is you can apply that template so that just see what you have now. So when you apply the information, apply the see that. Same as a tree. Yeah, Mm. Oh, no, no, no. Don't worry about my model. My model is your model. It's okay. That doesn't matter for now. Yeah. Many people have the way small is Notebook to show step by step. Notebook I don't have to show step by step. Okay, what's happening is all these steps, right, is being recorded here. So don't worry about that. Yeah. And whatever your assignments, your common test, or your final test, everything will be from what I'm talking about over here. So nothing from outside. Okay, so don't worry about external things. No, so it will be about you won't have to build a full model. I mean, for the final test, which is your next year, that one I still haven't decided what I'm going to do. But for your common test, which is middle of this semester, I think they will upload the information on your on your website. This what's that called? Polite Mall and Teams and all. It will be uploaded later on. All you will have to do is some of these steps that we are going through, right? You will have to show how to execute those steps. Like, for example, drawing grid lines, drawing levels, placing columns, right? And, creating view template, for example. I don't know. These questions I still have to figure out, but you'll have to just execute a few steps. You won't have to build a full model, okay? Probably maybe just one portion of a floor, one portion of a, few rooms together and so on and so forth. Okay? You don't have to build a full model. All right? Okay? Don't worry. I learned one word, Singapore word called kiasu.
You never took the last semester.
No, not for this course. I took one other course called digital construction. Why? No, I think previous person retire or something. That's why they take me so that I can continue for longer duration. Still young, right? Okay, let's continue. What we have to do is few things. We have finished the first part. So this is what I'm going to do. Every class I come, I will put up 2 sections. Okay, and we hope to finish these 2 sections before we go home. We have about an hour to go. Next, what we are supposed to do is draw grid lines, right? Why we are drawing grid lines? So that we can place our columns on the grid lines. And why we are drawing columns? So that we can create the schedule. Schedule means, like bar bending schedule, for example. I think those who are on the site, you all will understand. But we are going to create a schedule of our columns. We are going to do steel columns. Okay, so to do that, let's focus on the grid line. Same thing. I'm going to do the command first, then I will get you all to do it. So how I will draw grid line is the same way I drew levels before. So level, what I did, I went inside my structural tab and I selected, one thing you all should be able to tell me before I move into grid. Previously when you were drawing your levels, under your structural tab, you were able to select the level. But now I am not able to select the level over here. It's hidden. Can anyone tell me why? Yeah, this is the floor plan. Yes. This is the floor plan. Inside my floor plan, how can I create level? Level is created vertically, right? So for me to create level, I will have to go to which view? Elevation view, right? So if I go to the elevation view, this one is just for your info. If I go to the elevation view, under my structural tab, I can select the level. But if I'm in my floor plan, I'm not able to select the levels. Okay, that one is just for your information. Okay, good. So let's start creating the grid line. Very simple. Same way as what you did for levels inside elevation. So I'm going to just create, grid line. There are many ways to create. I can just draw something like this. It will create the grid line. But for me to do like this and then like this and then like this, I think it takes a lot of effort. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to create the grid line a little bit more faster way. I'm going to select pick lines, and based on pick lines, I'm going to select a few lines over here. Like for example, I escape out of the command just to show. This is a architectural wall. Okay, it's hidden because it's in the architectural model. So this whole architectural model has a thickness, and the thickness of it is about, let's see, yeah, 352.4 mm. Okay. So for me to create a grid line at the center of this wall, what I need to do is select the grid line and select this pick lines and bring my mouse, zoom in a little bit, bring my mouse, it will automatically highlight the center of this wall. Okay, so I just need to select it and a grid line will be created at the center of this wall, something like this. Then the same way like what you did earlier, you can extend the grid line a little bit on this side, a little bit on that side, and this is the grid line. Okay, same way, I'm going to create grid lines in this direction by selecting pick lines, and this time center of this wall, this internal wall. Center of this wall is over here. Grid line 2 is created. Maybe center of this wall as well. Center of this wall all the way here. Okay, maybe not need so many grids. Okay, then the center of this grid line over here. Okay, can you follow what I did just now and create the grid lines at your end? Make sure that once you place your grid lines, select the grid lines, check to make the bubble appear on both the sides, and extend the grid lines on both sides. This is only horizontal grid lines. We are also going to create vertical grid lines later. Okay, just draw some of these grid lines over here and extend it. I think this is something that you have done just now, so it should be pretty fast and straightforward. Okay, so just make sure that all your bubbles are checked. Just try and find the center of the wall and create horizontal grid lines all across your, your model. Got it? Guys, you'll have to do it in the class because at home you don't have the software. Okay? Justin, I think you should do. I don't know why you are not doing. Yeah. I mean, I may not be able to come and bring you to the same page all the time. So please follow. Sorry. Sorry. When you created the view template, Okay, grid line on the this one horizontal. Now let's do grid line on the vertical side. Same thing. Structural tab, grid line. Again, pick lines. I'm going to select the center line of this wall, this vertical direction, let's say. Okay, center line of this wall, then center line of this wall as well. Those who have got it, you can proceed already. Proceed to do the grid lines. Okay. 11. This and this. Okay. So I only have some grid lines like this. Okay, I am going to I'm going to extend the grid lines on the top a little bit. It's the same concept, guys, just in the vertical direction. Do let us know if any issues. Okay, sometimes this kind of a thing can be a little boring to drag here, drag there. But no choice, have to do. Okay, I hope you get the idea. Grid line is like this. Okay, there's another thing, because usually grid lines, like, on the vertical side or one of the sides, it's supposed to be alphanumerical. So I'll call this as grid line A. This one I will rename to B. This one to C. This one actually don't need to do manually. If I made a mistake. If I would have called this grid line as A, changed the name earlier on, the corresponding grid lines would have automatically been named as B, C, D, E, and all. Okay. But now just change it manually first, it's fine. Just for your info, maybe I show it to you. If let's say I'm drawing this one, you don't need to draw. But let's say if I draw another grid line and let's say I copy, yeah, copy from here and place it here, you can see that it's automatically renamed as H. Okay. Wait again. Okay, so what I was trying to say is, if I would have renamed this one as ABCD earlier on, or rename just one of the grid lines as A over here, the corresponding grid lines on the horizontal side would have automatically be named as B, C, D, and all. Okay. So if now I draw a grid line, maybe I just copy this grid line, copy from here to here. This one you don't need to do. I'm just demonstrating a concept. So if I just copy it, you will see that this grid line will automatically be renamed as H, not alphanumerical. Okay, so that's for the grid line on both horizontal and vertical. Got it? Play around with grids a little bit. Column for it? What? Say? Column numbers. Oh yeah. Yeah, correct. You're right. I mean, change for you. I don't want to change mine. Anyways, mine not important. You're important. Okay, change your. Yeah, he highlighted something. My vertical side has grid lines as 8, 9, 10. You may want to change it back to 1, 2, 3 like that. Yeah. Or you want to change anything, it's also okay. Yeah, so just click on it, double click on the number and change it to 1. Okay, guys, let's move on. Let's create columns now. Okay, so what we are going to do is, under the structural tab, there is this command called column. Now remember, I mentioned that we are going to create steel columns. Okay, so when I click column, as you can see, any random column over here is selected. But I don't want to work with random columns. I want to select the column that I want. Okay, so to do that, there is this, this command called load family. Load family basically means you have to load all the different objects that you require for your work. So I'm going to go back to this this folder, and I'm going to find structural columns. Okay, let's do it together. I think otherwise everyone will be stuck. Go to columns. I'm in structure tab under columns. Yep. And find load family. Click on it. Found? Load family found? Can find or not? Okay, show again. Structure, column. Load family is here. Got it? Who's not able to see? Why? Where are you? Yeah, escape. Try escape. What? Who else? Looks like rest are okay. Do load family. Okay, so load family, remember, will bring you to a new sort of a dialog box. I would need you all to go to this drop down over here. No matter where you are over here, just go to this drop down and find English. Click on this drop down. Find English. Able to find? Who's not able to find? Got it, everyone? Yes, no? Okay, English. Under English, please go to US, because the software is built in US. So somehow, a little bit more library or family or objects are available inside their US library. This is basically the library. We are accessing the objects from the US library. There is also a library for Canada, there's also a library for Singapore, for Europe, for China, for India, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this BIM solution provider, Autodesk, they have created library of objects that are applicable to different countries or different continents. Okay, just FYI. But let's work on the US library first. Maybe, I don't know, you all want to migrate to US, then tell them I know your BIM. Okay, US, click on that, then go and find, scroll a little at the bottom and find structural columns. Okay, slowly, yeah. Inside the US, go and find structural columns. Don't find columns. This column is architectural column. You need to find the folder called structural columns. Okay, double click on it. And like I said earlier, I'm going to load my model with steel columns. Okay, not concrete, not precast, I want steel. Okay, so steel, double click on steel folder, and you need to find which one. Yeah, it's a I-beam, but I'm looking for a proper name. Yeah, you need to find this column called hollow structural section column dot RFA. Remember just now I told you Autodesk Revit has 3 different file formats. You all remember? The project that you are saving is .rvt. The family is .rfa. And the template that you loaded very, very long ago at the beginning of this class is .rte. Okay? All right. Everyone able to find this? Sorry? Structural columns, then steel. Wait, I couldn't hear. Never mind, you help to solve, please. Thank you.
Follow structure, section follow.
Okay, I guess everyone should be here. Then when I click on open, yeah, when I click on open, you know, the hollow structural section column can also be of different shapes and sizes. Just now my wall, you all remember, was how much? 350 something mm, right? 350 mm wall. So I want to place a column at the center of it. So I definitely can't place a column which is bigger than my wall, right? Steel column. So I can't place 500, you know, over here it's all the sizes of the different types of columns. Okay. So let's pick an appropriate size, and I feel the appropriate size for my column is, let's say, just about half of it. So I'm going to select an I-beam, which is 152.4 by 152.4 by, let's say this one. Not so, yeah. Let's select this one, 152.4 by 152.4 by 9.5 column. The shape of this steel column, by the way, just read through some of the properties here, please. Just read through and make sense for yourself. What does each one of those items mean? So height is 152, breadth is 152, and thickness is 8.9. Okay, it's a what column? Square column. Hollow. Remember just now? So the thickness will come where? There's a outer layer, then there is an inner layer, and the thickness of that outer and inner is 8.9. Okay, got it? So it's a hollow steel column. Concrete will still be poured inside that one. Okay, selected. Okay, 152.4 by 152.4 by 9.5. Once it's selected, click on OK. And now you will see that a column sort of a thing, if you zoom in a little bit, is tagged to your cursor. Okay, don't click anywhere first. So what we want to do is, I want to place this column at the center of this location. Before I do that, I'm trying to place a vertical column, right, like this. And there are 2 ways to place a column. I am on my structural level 1, and I want the column to go from my level 1 to the top. So logically, which option do you all think I should select? I want to draw from here and I want to go up. Height. So that's the purpose of this. So if I'm at my structural level 1 and I want to draw my column down, what should I select? If I want to draw down, then I should select that. But now I want to draw up. So I should select what? Height. Okay? Right. So that's what you all should do. Select this drop down and select height. Now, I'm on my level 1 and usually when we draw columns, we don't go and draw columns worth 10-story high because it's not manufacturable, right? You can't precast that. Maybe steel you can, but concrete you cannot, right? So usually columns are drawn one level to next level, then next level to next level, right? So that you can manufacture it inside the factory and then send it to site. Because the whole purpose of this is to, make sure that it's related to construction, right? Usually we do that, but for this course, let's model the column that goes all the way to the top, to the roof. Okay, so over here, I'm on my level 1 and I want to model my column all the way to the top. Which particular level should I select over here? Roof. Because I want to model from my structural level 1 and all the way to the top. And my topmost level, you remember, I named as roof. Okay, now that you have it, everyone here? Yeah, about that, my screen, that's not even battery on the protecting it in the screen, that's not obvious. Yours now has a square icon. Okay, I come to you. Give me a moment. Okay, right? Yeah, all right. Now, before placing the column, guys, let's take a look. So I want to place the column at this, midpoint over here, which is the intersection of these two walls. Okay. So because I have drawn the grid line already, I know that this, this intersection of this grid line is the intersection of the midpoints of these two walls meeting in this direction. Okay. So I'll just select this center of the grid line and my column is going to be placed here. Okay, so all that you need to do is just click on the intersection of that grid line and the column will be placed there. Okay, that's all you need to do for placement of columns. Okay, once that is done, for the moment I will exit out of the command. Okay, let's see. So I have exited out of the column command by clicking on modify and pressing escape. Let's take a look at some of the properties of this. Let me also open my 3D view. You all may or may not need to open it. So because my column is, where is it? If I highlight it, it's still inside this wall. Later when I, hide all these walls and all, you will be able to see the column separately. But for the moment, okay, maybe just close 3D view. Okay, so let's just click on this column here and study some of the properties. So as you can see in the properties dialog box, it's saying base level as level 1, going all the way till roof. The column is vertical. And one important thing, remember you all drew the grid lines before. So as you can see, the location mark of this column is A8, which is the intersection of this grid line. Take a look. at your own screens how you named your grid lines. So it should be at that grid line. It's not necessary to match my naming convention. Your grid line should be the way you named it. Okay. All right. So that's the column. Now, so I have so many grid lines, right? I don't want to go around, positioning my column one by one at each one of these intersections. There is a faster way to do that. So what I will do is I'll select the structure, under structure, I'll select the columns. And the reason why we drew grid lines is to make our job a little easier, right? So I'm going to select this command called add grids, but before that, make sure that the same column that we selected earlier is highlighted. And for my case, it's highlighted. So I'm just going to select this command called add grids and hold the left button of, don't worry, I'm going to do it again. Hold the left button of my mouse. I will drag all the way like this. And as you can see, the columns are placed at all the grid lines, intersections automatically. There are a few more extra ones that are placed. This one we can delete later on. But this is a very, very fast way of placing the columns at the specific grid lines. Okay, sorry, your question? I didn't get it. No, okay, so what I did was, I get your question. So basically what I want to do is, I want to place the columns at, all the walls, external, internal, everywhere. Okay, so for me to select the perimeter, it will be the entire thing. Okay, so let's do it again together. Go to structure tab, go to column, and make sure that your HSS hollow structural section column 152.4, this one is selected. Okay, 152.4, that one. Once that is selected, it will by default, it will be selected already, so don't need to do again. Click on this add grids. Okay, and from the top right, hold the left mouse button and drag like this to the bottom left. Top right, hold mouse button, drag to bottom left, and let go of the mouse. Once you let go, you will see that the columns are placed, but the command is not finished yet. To finish the command, you need to click on this finish button. Got it? Who didn't get? Yeah, where are you? Level 1, right? Then the top level is roof. But currently my top level is drop level 2. Can I add the property this? I just direct to profit. Yeah. So in your properties dialog box, so you haven't drawn the rest of the columns, right? Yeah. Okay. Select that one column in your properties dialog box. Select the top as roof. Yeah. Just select the top as roof. It will automatically go all the way. Huh? Okay, I come. Did I make that mistake also? I don't know. Yep, I didn't. Okay, I hope everyone got this. Finish. To finish the command, make sure you finish it and then come out of that command by pressing escape or clicking on modify. You will see that the columns are placed over here already. There will be some extra columns, like for example, you see over here, maybe let me just style it, right? So for my case, I mean for every one of us, there will be a few extra columns like this one, this one, and one on this side, this side. This will come in by default because this is also an intersection of the grid line. So all you need to do is just click on this column and delete, and click on this column and delete, and it will go away. I think this is where we will end today. Just one or two more things. I'm drained of energy also. So as you can see, go to your 3D view. You will be able to see that your columns have come in already. Okay, now everyone open your 3D view, please. 3D view, and inside your 3D view, make sure that everything looks something like this. Okay, and what I need you to do is, remember previously I spoke about this visibility graphics. So you click on that edit button over there. So for the moment, why we are not able to see our structural element, which is the column that we have just modeled, is because it is inside this architectural model. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to remove this architectural model. I mean, not remove, hide. Okay. So to do that, why I'm hiding it is because I want to see only my structural elements, not the architectural elements. So to do that, under the visibility graphics, which can be found inside your properties dialog box, click on edit and go all the way to the right hand side, Revit link, and uncheck this architectural. Just simple. Uncheck. Click on apply and you will see that all the things are gone. I mean, all the architectural things are gone, but the structural things are still there. Okay, so far? Okay, to bring it back, all you need to do is you just need to, play around with it. Okay, once you do that, you will be able to see that your columns are here. Okay, I guess what else? Okay, there is something remaining for columns still. Let's finish that. Because this column, I mean, if you all go to the center of your floor plan, right, you will see that these two columns are placed very randomly, like they are not associated to any wall. So what I want to do is I want to move this column to this distance, to this portion over here. Okay. Some ways to do that. I can just drag it, but again, this will not be accurate. Okay. Okay. Save the project. So what I'm going to do is I am going to first find what is the distance of this from this portion. Give me a moment. Z, yeah, for my case. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, it's a bit of a work. That's why never mind, let's just do it. Don't worry. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's do it together. Select on this column here. And when you select, click on this move. You'll find the move command under modify button over here. Select the top edge. On the top edge, you will see that a triangle will be formed. This top edge here. Do you see a triangle being formed? Huh? Okay. Click on that triangle there. And move it horizontally in this direction till you feel there is going to be a snap, a sort of a snap at the center of this wall. Once you feel there is a snap, let it go and the column will be placed there. Okay, managed to get it? No? Okay, let's do it again. So what I'm doing is I selected this column and I selected on this command called move. Able to find the triangle, right, so far? Okay, triangle, okay? Triangle, guys? Yes, no? Yes. Okay. Click once you find the triangle. Once you find the triangle, move in the left-hand direction, something like this. So you see this particular wall, right? This wall. You see this wall, right? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move towards the edge of this. Okay? So I have to zoom in a little bit to find that particular edge. So I'm moving on the left-hand side I zoom, 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 and then I feel there is a snap happening when I move here. Okay, got it? When I feel the snap happening, I click once and the column moves in that direction. Got it? Now, there is a reason why I am doing this a little bit too accurately with you, is because when you are doing the model, it has to be accurate. I mean, when you are doing the model in actual practice, it has to be accurate. But if you are not able to get it accurately, it's fine. Don't worry. For now, it's okay. Don't worry. All right. I believe most of you should be able to get it already. Not a problem. There are various ways to do that. Yeah. You can draw a line. You can draw anything you want. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I know the distance, so to measure the distance, it's something like this. As you can see, these three columns still need to be moved, right? But just now, for me to move from here to here was a little bit challenging, right? So I don't want to repeat the same steps of moving from here to here. It's a little bit challenging. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to measure this distance. So under my modify tab, there's this command called measure. And I'm just going to measure from here to the center of this column, which is 1275 mm. So now what I'm going to do is click on this column, move from the grid line center, and I will just select or type 1275 and it will move here. Got it? Got it or not? I do it again. I do it for this column. So I selected this column and I clicked on move. Then I clicked on the center of this column and I drag my mouse on this right hand side, but I never click on anything. I just press 1275 on my keyboard and press enter and the column moves. One more time, but this time on this side. Select this column, select on move. From the center of this column, I drag to the left hand side and press 1275 and it moves. Okay, now all my columns are perfectly in shape. Okay, I come with. Why is it? Just see if all these look same for you. No, you need to select the column first and then select move. Okay, I think that's about it, guys. What we were able to do today is quite a bit. The pending item, next time please remind me, is creating column schedule. I will color it in red. Okay, what I want you all to do, please save your model and save as project. Please save as project. And this is week 1, okay? Next week, you are going to use the same model, but you are going to save it as week 2. All right? Is it week 1? Can we change it to week 2? What shall we do? Today is week 2, right? Yeah. Okay, let's change it to week 2 then. Change it to week 02. Next week we continue as week 03. All right, save, and you can close Revit for tonight. Guys, one request, please. 2 requests. Hello? It's done. Sorry, one. Let me say something first. So next class, from next class onwards, it will be great if we can be on time, 6:30. I mean, if somebody is late for official reasons and all, I think that's fine. But as much as possible, let's come to class on 6:30 so that we can, don't need to go beyond 10 p.m. That's number 1. Number 2, bring your, you can, I don't know whether they can keep the models here or they can save here. It will not be lost, right? Yeah, so that for that, right, I would suggest people sitting at the back don't sit there. I think there are 8 computers free in the front, right? I think you all just please move, because sitting at the back, you will not be able to see the screen, and I will have to speak so loud, I will be drained of energy also. Sorry about that. Okay, so please, let's all sit in the front and be on time. Okay, today what I would suggest that you all please copy the thing in your thumb drive and take it back, because next time when you come, select a seat in the front. Okay? Yes. Yeah. So the next person you come, you log in and then just download it up. Okay. Good night, guys. Thank you. See you next week. Save your models. Don't forget to save.